Mahlzeit! Wir sind heute in Hannover im Kapitol, weil hier heute ein paar Finnen spielen, und zwar in Insomnium. Die konnte ich letzte Woche in Leipzig leider nicht wahrnehmen, aber diese Woche in Hannover hat es geklappt. Habt die Jungs auch im Interview, da freue ich mich drauf. Das habe ich schon länger mal probiert und heute hat es geklappt. Film ab! Mahlzeit! Today we are here in Hannover. It's a great pleasure for me to meet this awesome guy from Insomnium. Today we are here in Hannover, so what are your impressions about Hannover and Germany in general?
Well, we come to Germany every year, so but not so many times in Hanover. I think this may be second or third time here. So of course we like Germany a lot. We have a lot of fans here. Like after Finland, I think we have like most fans here. Okay. So it's always good to come here. And had some time to do sightseeing today. Went to the Christmas market there in the city and did some Christmas shopping, and so all good. And I'm sure it will be a good show in a few hours. So looking forward.
Somewhere I heard that Christmas markets are a German tradition. Are there Christmas markets in Finland too?
Not like this. It's very, very German thing. Okay. So we have some kind of Christmas markets, but you can't compare it to this. You guys really take it seriously and start like in November already. Like on this tour, in every city where we have been, there has been a Christmas market. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you compare the fans in Finland to the metalheads in Germany, do you think there are any differences?
Difficult question. I think Finnish and German and North European fans are about the same. Like, what can I say? They like the show, but they don't get overly crazy if it's like Monday or Tuesday. So, like in Finland, it only makes sense to play Friday and Saturday shows. Mm-hmm. But well, it's a bit different here. Like yesterday, Monday, we played in Frankfurt. It was a really good show, really good audience. So I guess there's some kind of difference that German people can have fun also on Monday or Tuesday. So that might be the difference.
I think that your music is pretty gloomy. So would you say that one needs a gloomy mindset to make music like yours?
I don't know about that. I wouldn't say that we're gloomy guys. I think all the people who are in the metal community know that we like the dark music, but it doesn't mean that the people would be somehow depressed or dark. So we are pretty normal guys, I would say. But we love this kind of sad music, and it makes us happy.
Okay. Do you also listen to other subgenres like, for example, power metal, or more like melodic death metal or atmospheric black metal?
I listen to all kind of music, but not power metal. I don't like power metal, but nowadays it's more and more something else than metal. I listen a lot of like movie soundtracks and synthesizer music and some 80s pop music or whatever. But of course, all kind of metal. But well, power metal is one genre that I've never been into. It's just not my thing. Yeah.
In October, you released your new album, Heart Like a Grave. What would you say? What is the key message of the album?
Well, the lyrical concept is sort of based on the old Finnish songs and lyrics and poems. So we looked for the gloomiest, saddest stories from Finland. Those kind of songs that our parents and grandparents were listening to. So stuff from the, I don't know, 50s, 60s, 70s, and even older stuff. So we've used that material, made Insomnium versions of those stories. So, but there are a lot of themes there. Usually the longing for the golden days of youth when things were better, and the person who sings the song feels he's old and there's nothing left anymore, and that's exactly what the song Heart Like a Grave is about. But I don't know if there's a message, but probably there's a message, and enjoy life and make the most out of it, so when you're old you don't have to regret anything. Yeah.
Until today you released many songs, but if you had to choose only one, which one means the most to you personally?
Well, Winter's Gate, because well, it's the longest one. Yeah, well, if one song, then Winter's Gate, of course. It's a special album, of course, and special thing because it's based on this story that I wrote 10 years before that. So all in all, it was a special thing, and we are grateful that our record company believed in the concept right from the start. When we told them, okay, guys, we want to make an album which is only one song and there's a book included, they were like, okay, sounds cool, let's do that. And it turned out to be good. Everybody liked it, and maybe we do something similar in the future. Who knows? But so definitely Winter's Gate, if only one song.
That's a good point, because as always I ask my Instagram followers to ask you a few questions, and Paul wants to know, how did you approach that album that consists only of a single song?
Well, of course it's a different thing than writing like 10 songs. But originally the idea was just we wanted to make a long song, and we hadn't any plan that, okay, it has to be 40 minutes or it has to be this or that. We just started making it and putting the pieces together the way that there should be like some kind of dramatic arc there, and it makes sense for this whole length. And at one point we realized, okay, we got about 40 minutes here, so it's going to be a full-length album. And it went pretty easily. So the parts that we composed separately, all of us, somehow they fitted together nicely. So there was the same kind of mood there, that it feels like a one song. Even there are different kind of parts. There's the mellow, easy parts, and then there's the almost black metalish parts, but still they flow together nicely. And I can't explain it any more than that. There's always this some kind of magic ingredient when you're making the music, that it just flows and happens, and at one point you realize that, okay, this is good now. And but it's a different kind of process each time, and you can't like predict how it goes, and you can't like automatically make hit songs one after another. It's always a different kind of process, but that's why it's so interesting also, that the process of making new songs, the composing part, that's what I love.
Cora wants to know, from which artist is the cover from your current album, and how did you choose them?
Well, it's a collaboration of Vesa Ranta, who did the videos, who was the former drummer of Sentenced. Now he's a photographer and a video director. And Simo Heikkinen is a graphic designer from Finland. And so the photograph, which is in the background, it's Vesa's, but then Simo put it like together and did the layout and all. So these two persons are to be blamed here.
Raji wants to know, what do you think about the band Beelzebub? Do you know the band?
I've heard it. Yeah, it's a good band. Yeah, it's a good band. Yeah.
Okay. If I ever were to visit Finland, I'm really interested in festivals. So, which festival should I absolutely go to, and why? Maybe you have one popular festival and one that isn't that well known.
It depends a bit what kind of thing you enjoy. If you want to be, well, if you go to Helsinki, it's easy to go to Tuska Festival, which is in the middle of Helsinki, and that's like the most well-known metal festival, of course. But the area, it's nothing special. It's kind of, well, there's the bands and there's this asphalt everywhere, so it's not that special, the area. But the ones that I would suggest is Ilosaari Rock in our hometown Joensuu in the east. It's more like a general festival, so there's all kind of music there, but also metal and rock bands. And it's a really beautiful place by the lake. It's really green, like there's trees and there's grass, and you can go to swimming in the lake, and it's a really nice place. And another one, a smaller, pretty new festival, metal festival in the middle of Finland, John Smith Festival. There's some guy named John Smith who actually runs it. That's why it's called John Smith Festival in Finland. But also by the lakeside. Really nice place. So behind the main stage you can see a lake there. It's a really nice place. We play there 2 times in a row. Next year we're gonna be there again. It holds like, I don't know, 5,000 people, so it's pretty small. There is a great atmosphere and good bands, and I would recommend that.
Okay. That thing with the name is interesting. We have a festival in Germany with the name Tank mit Frank. That means like drinking with Frank,
Yeah.
and the promoter is Frank.
Yeah.
Which was the coolest festival you ever visited? The most special festival you can remember?
Oh, tough question. Of the European festivals, I think Hellfest, of these biggest ones, Hellfest is probably the nicest. Yeah, it's really nicely set up, the whole area, and well decorated. There's no mud, and great lineup every year. And from the artist's point of view, all the backstage areas are really, really well thought of. Great food, everything works. So Hellfest is super, super nice. And of course this Metal Days in Slovenia. Mm-hmm. The area is really special there, really beautiful. All these rivers there and the mountains and stuff like that. So I think those two are kind of the festivals that somehow stood up, and they are somehow different and special. Yeah.
Okay. If you look at Scandinavia, you will see that there are many dark metal bands like Melodic Death Metal or Black Metal. What do you think? What is the reason that especially Finland, Norway, and Sweden are so much into these subgenres compared with other countries in Europe?
It's a difficult question. That how did it start? But like in Finland, the bands that first got recognized outside Finland were like Amorphis and Sentenced, and so when we were teenagers, we were looking at and there were many others who found these bands as well, and they were influencing the next generation of bands. So and at the same time, like in Sweden, there was this Gothenburg metal scene that was spread out, and in Norway the black metal scene. So but it's ultimately hard to explain how does it start, thing like that. But you're absolutely right, and like most of my favorite bands are in Norway or from Sweden or Finland. So yeah.
Okay. Last question that I ask every artist I have an interview with. Imagine there would appear a fairy in front of you and fulfill you a wish to tour with an artist. Doesn't matter if the band still exists, if it's big or not, if there are dead members, or if it is an odd lineup of a band that still exists but in another constellation. If you had the free choice, who would it be and why?
Queen, with Freddie Mercury.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I think we all love Queen in this band, and I think it's the first rock band that I fell in love with when I was a kid, so that's the obvious choice for me. And I would like to shake hands with Fred and tell him that he's the best.